Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing an account overview, and the reason why I'm doing an account overview, even though I've done like a fair amount so far, is just because of like how different my solo trap is compared to all the other ones. I've done a few account overviews before, but the reason why I keep doing them so often is because with all the tests I am doing along with other people like balls deep, I keep finding new comps and new ideas and new like formations which I think are the best at the time, which is why when I make a video of my trap doing so well, I like to do an account overview so everybody knows exactly what I have got, what to aim for in order to do what I am doing, if that is something that people are interested in. And right now I think it's a better time than ever because I've genuinely found a comp that gives me 0 deads, even against Mythic Emperor. So that's why I'm doing this video. But also, before I go into the video, I think it's important to know what the whole idea of this is. And the idea of this trap is to get 0 deads when countered. In everything that I've done on this trap is purely based around counters because I'm in a range formation. Range isn't going to give me dead either as cavalry. So the main focus is dealing with the infantry. That's the hardest part. So granted, range probably does a bit more damage to me than it should an average trap, but I don't care because I'm focused on 0 deads, which is what I've got to at this point. So let's just start with a comp, since that is what most people are interested in. And now it's not as simple as just seeing the comp and doing it. You need to understand a few reasons why I've done certain things. Reason number 1 would be the 3 million tier 3 and a 3 million tier 2 cav and a 2 million tier 2 infantry. The reason why I've made cav higher than infantry is because cavalry counts as infantry and I'm in a range wedge, so range and cavalry is up front. So the cavalry is really going to counter the infantry and get it faster, therefore I'm going to take less damage. And the tier 3 range has to be the highest squad in the army. And the reason why is that the pack 5 targets the tier 3 rather than the tier 2, because if it targets the tier 2, it will take more damage and it will fill your infirmaries. You'll get cheaper heals, but then you've got to spend more gems healing. And just to give an example of that, I'll go here. The comps were slightly different, but it gives you the right idea. So here was Bivir. This was Sparta main on the Bivir account, who has Mythic Champ, all that stuff, okay? He hit me with infantry versus range wedge, as you can see. All pack 5 familiars. And he did 432k to my tier 3 and 2 million to my tier 2 cav. But since then, I decided to boost my tier 3 range. And I thought Killer Doll, who's one of the strongest accounts in the game, got Mythic Emperor gear, Mythic Champ, all that sort of stuff, 11k heroes. And he hit me with the same thing again. But he gave me no deads when he is stronger, with the same familiars. But the reason why I took no deads is because the tier 3 was higher than the tier 2. So I took 0 deads, because the tier 3 is stronger than tier 2 when targeted by like pack 5 familiars and all that. I recommend having a tier 2 frontline though if you're going for something like a rally trap. But yeah, there you go. That's why I do the troops the way I've got them. Hopefully I explained that well enough, and let's just go straight into the gear now. The gear is kind of straightforward, but here are some alternatives that I've got on, because some people ask, can I go for something else? Yes, you can. If you're not going for Dragon Talons, you're going to save your eyes, which means you can go for this, and then go for this, because this uses eyes. But I wouldn't recommend going for this and this, because they both take up your eyes. So go for like one or the other. And Mythic Lunar Scimitar is amazing until you get your gear, your winter mitts, and gold. Even when it's purple, Mythic is better. I will not be upgrading this, even though I can. Just never use this. It gives no army HP. It is pointless, in my opinion. War gear. This is my actual war gear. The final upgrades I'll make on my war gear would be making this here gold, and one more purple, then one more gold. And then making this mythic, which is just 2 more purples and then these blazing embers. then that'll be the final upgrades I make on my gear. Even though gear isn't important, I capped people like Biver with no gear on, which you can see here. This was with no gear. Just shows gear again. There you go, Mythic Champ, infantry versus range counter. And I had less troops at the time as well, so there you go. But the more like stats you have, the less deads you're gonna take, obviously. But the difference is not as big as it should be, in my opinion. But that's just the way the game works. I think if you just go 300% mixed stats, you will be perfectly fine. Even if you're like 280% mixed stats, you're fine. Because when I get my leader capped with 130% mixed stats and I get gangbanged by like 10 people, which is in a video before, I capped them all. I didn't burn once. Even some of them used a Blackwing on me, a max Blackwing, and I still capped them all. So it goes great. Now before I show my stats, I need to show talent, because talent is something that is also different than what I've done in the past and what any other YouTuber has done before, which I'll just show here. So here, squad army offense is good. You can see my cavalry is a bit weird, but that makes sense. But here's where it gets a bit different with the training speed, and I'll show again my training speed. Now the reason why I've got the training speed the way it is because the higher your training speed is, the faster your infirmary heals are going to be. Without my training speed maxed, it's about 7.5k gems for a full heal. With my training speed maxed on here, it's about 3.5k. So when I get hit like a full heal 10 times, instead of it costing 75k gems, it will cost me 35k gems, which is better than half price. And as I said, stats aren't crazy important. It'll give me a bit more stats, but not worth like saving myself 50% gems when healing, you know? So that's what I recommend. Squad health, obviously. I'll go for the range just for boosting the range a little bit. I think you can go infantry, just because infantry versus infantry does make a somewhat of a difference, rather than range versus infantry. But I want to boost the range just in case I take like a cavalry rally or something. But the main focus you want to do with talents is the cavalry. Like 100% you want to do the cavalry and squad health. Then obviously army attack. And the reason why is because the higher your cavalry stats are, the faster you're going to kill the infantry. And this is only if you have a range frontline. If you have an infantry frontline, you want to boost your range and boost your range stats. That way you're going to kill their cavalry faster, because their cavalry is going to counter your infantry, if that makes sense. So now I'll show my actual stats. So this is with my talents the way they are, as you can see. This is how it is. Army attack, army HP, and I'll show, just for those that are wondering, what is it like with my actual war gear, war talents rather. So this is my war talents, usually. With like a tier 2 frontline, I would say this is good. Let's apply this. Now this is what my war gear, war talents are actually like, or my stats. Much higher in infantry, but infantry isn't like crazy important. It's mainly the cavalry that you want to focus on, in my opinion. And this is with like the heals gonna cost twice as much now, so I just don't think it's worth it. I took a 22-man gangbang with my other talents on, and I lost 10k deads, which was from like pirate hits and stuff, not even actual hits. And the hits that I did take didn't even fill my infirmaries. So if I lost any deads, it would have been through me not healing in time, nothing else. Now I'll go to the wall. Heroes, I would recommend this, because I've got a fair amount of cavalry. Just as I said, more cavalry attack, faster I'm going to kill the infantry. Army attack hero, range attack and HP. Range is my frontline, more HP will help. And then I have an infantry hero for the leader. Reason why is because if they see my leader and they see infantry and have no information on me at all, they might think that I have an infantry based trap or infantry based account that might counter with cavalry, but I'm actually in range formation. That's just one little detail that I just do. You don't have to do it, it's not a must. I don't know how effective it is, but that's just why I have that as my leader. War Heroes. I recommend this if you are range frontline, because those infantry's hits will make a big difference. With this, I am actually going to swap this out soon, because once I get rid of this, I'm going to have Sorcerer maxed here, which means when 300k of my range is wounded, I get an 80% range HP boost for 10 seconds, which is very, very good, because with the other familiars, it activates at the start of battle, and there's a few seconds at the start of battle when you're not even getting hit and you're not even hitting them. So there's a few seconds where it's kind of pointless and you're losing out on seconds. But this, I'll get a full 10 seconds worth, because it will activate as I'm in battle, if that makes sense. And 300k isn't even that much. You know, when I'm getting hit by Killer Doll, it will do 300k, and then I get a big range HP boost, which will help me out with taking less deaths. That's one thing that I will do in the future. It's not a guarantee, it's not a must to do, it's not a must to do at all, but it's something that I will do. Now, research. Research is straightforward. I mean, I don't have to explain any of this stuff, just don't do anything here. Military, I would recommend this. You can go Army Offense 7, just to lower your might. But if I were to give this 9, it will boost my might by like 5 million. So there's like no chance I'm doing that. Monster Hunt, you can tone it down a bit. I did this for the early challenges at the start of the game, which boosted my trap, because at the start of the game I was free to play, and there were some quests, like here, the Allied Voyage thing that is on the left side, that gave me speed ups for hunting monsters. So that's why I get that. It's why I would recommend getting that. But if you are pay to play, don't bother. You don't need it. Keep the might lower. Upgrade defense is nothing. Get quick swaps here. There you go. Get those quick swaps. Very good, very important. Get phalanx for countering, and get the wedge that you are planning on staying in. If you want to do my comp, you can do a variation of it if you want. You can get 3 million tier 3 infantry instead of range, then get 3 million tier 2 range and 2 million tier 2 cavalry. And then if you do that, go for an infantry wedge. But if you go for my comp, go for a range wedge, as the range is the front line. And wedges give you 50% less deads, so it's very, very important when taking counters, that is. Military command, just get mythic gear. Familiars, just get to pack 2. Familiar battles, just get pack slot 2. That's what I'm doing. I'm just getting battle slot 2. You can get battle slot 3. I know some traps do it. It's pretty helpful. I know a lot of free-to-play traps definitely do it, because it gives them that little boost. You can do it if you want. Personally, I'm not. I'm going to stick with the 2. But I could, if I wanted to, get the 3, and then instead of swapping out my current familiar for sorcerer, I can get them both, which would be very good. But I won't. Sigils, nothing. Wonder battles, nothing, of course. Now, I want to show my might, because a lot of people do ask me a fair amount, where is all my might from? So here it is. Here are all my stats, for those wondering. And then you've got 10 billion might destroyed now, but here's my might. 112 million with troop might, 8.2 million with buildings, which I can reduce by deleting some buildings. Quest might I can't actually sort out anymore, but I did accept some when I was free to play for the resources and XP for boosting to level 60. I would recommend doing it though. Just take your time and don't boost your might. Research, I would say I could do things a little bit differently, but 20 million might is pretty good for a sort of trap in my opinion. Player level, I can't help that. I'm level 60. It's going to give me might. That's just the way it works. Hero armies, I can actually change. Well, I can't now, but I could have. I could have done with not upgrading her, or him. I could have just had Demon Slayer. Trickster could not have been upgraded. Him. I should have done the main ones, but things change, and I regret it. I can't go back in time, but you know, my trap's not perfect, but there's certainly ways you can lower your might, 100%. Here are the rest of my stats if you want. I don't do Colosseum battles. The reason why I don't do Colosseum battles is because I want to know how many people are in my kingdom, just so I know how active it is. So I will be migrating out soon. I know where I'm going. stay tuned for future videos when I kick some more ass. Now, I do want to answer some questions from my YouTube channel. I made a community post yesterday at the time of recording this, saying that if you have any questions about solo trapping or solo traps in general, ask right here and I will be sure to answer in my video. So that's what I'm going to do. First question is from Ajit Mishra, and he says, can you take a cavalry rally again? Note, if you take my answer, please display in the video that Alpha 96U2 asked this question, please. Smiley face. Well, there you go, you're on screen, mate. So, can I take a cavalry rally again? Yes, and the rally he's talking about is this one here. When I took a cav rally. There you go. That was the rally I took. He did have a Pact 5, so I was kind of lucky with that. And he didn't have war gear on at the time because he was expecting me to shield. So I mean, yeah, I can take a cavalry rally again. It just depends what his gear is, what his familiars are. But I can't take one of someone like Sneaky Tashi as an example, or somebody with Mythic Emperor gear, Mythic Champ. But if it's like an okay rally lead, probably yes. Now, Blake asks, is it better to be in a wedge or a foul, or is it situational, or should you be done with certain troop front lines? I kind of mentioned it earlier with the research, but if you're in a range formation, definitely stay in range wedge. I think range will do more because the cavalry's kind of up there, but when taking counters, I think it's just worth it. I would never ever change my comp or my formation. Even though I'm in a range wedge, if I see 3 infantries coming at me, I wouldn't go to cavalry. Just for the slight chance somebody from out of nowhere comes in with range and does 2 million deads. It wouldn't be worth it. I'll just be safe, play it safe, or stay in my wedge. And wedges give 50% less deads when countered. So, counters are the main problem at the moment. You know, everyone that is online, if you look at the past few months, when counter research first come out, everybody was going crazy, saying it's ridiculous, it's breaking the game, it's just stupid. So that's kind of like what I've been focusing on since then, on finding the best comp and the best solutions for counters. And I believe this is it. Go for a wedge and go for a tier 3 frontline for solo traps. For rally traps, I'm not the person to ask, unfortunately. I wish I was, but I'm not as good with rally traps as I am solo traps, hence why all my videos are solo traps. So I hope that answers your question, Blake. Next question. Sortio. When I'm a free-to-play solo trap and I can't cap a Titan counter, should I boost a tier 3 range to help kill the cavalry when I'm in an infantry wedge? Okay, so you're in an infantry wedge. Now, you haven't specified whether you got a tier 2 frontline or tier 3 frontline. But if you're I'm going to say tier 2 because you're free-to-play and it's rare for you to have a tier 3 frontline so soon after, you know, it's just become the meta recently. So I'm going to say you've got a tier 2 in frontline, and you can definitely boost a tier 3 range to help kill the cav. 100%, same as tier 2 range to boost the cav. Maybe switch up your talents a little bit, like I have done. Focus the range attack more than the infantry for dealing with those counters, mate. That's what I'd recommend. Same as gear, duels. Focus a little bit more on range, but make sure you still get your good mixed stats, good army HP, familiars, heroes on the wall for more range attack, all that sort of stuff, and infantry max HP. And you should be good. Fabio asked, you made a slight change in talent, which was incomplete due to continuous incoming attacks. Please show the new talent setup. I showed that earlier. He is right because I was showing my new talents in the video, but as I was getting attacked, I just spammed infantry attack or something like that. But I did finish it. It's not my current ones, it's the one I showed earlier. So there you go, Fabio. Emlyn Jones said, if I get a new cav accessory up, their ingrains, should it be worth swapping out my blight ring or scroll for it because the cav attack is needed for this comp? That's a very good question, actually. And I would say yes. I mean, if you get like a mythic, like a new mythic cav set, I could probably swap that out for the burning scroll. Even though it gives army HP and army attack, I think it might be worth it, just for the cavalry attack to help kill the infantry faster. But that's just some tests I've got to do. I don't know a solid yes or no answer, but something I might want to test out with a cav drum to see if I take less deads. Jack Kai says, does a tier 1 trap with tier 2 infantry work against tier 4? I know you took some hits from tier 4 and survived, but some out of resources says such a trap comp cannot stand tier 4 very well. What can you say about this, Billy? Well, to that I would say they are wrong, whoever said that. Tier 2, tier 1 comps are very good for tier 4. Very, very good for tier 4. Tier 5 and Pact 5, different story, you will hurt, but a tier 2 infantry frontline with boosted tier 1 range and cav does work for tier 4. It really does. It's what my baby trap has, and it's pretty good. My stats are low, but it's working. Money wise, around how much does it cost to make your solar trap if you already have all the research you need for it? Okay, so all the research needed. So let's say you have all the research, gears and jewels you have, fine. For the comp, I would say I've worked it out. Without me boosting manners, if I were to get zeroed right now, if I deleted all my troops right now and I rebuilt without getting any manners, it would cost me 2 million gems, or maybe 2.1 million gems. But with more manners, it will cost less. So, hopefully that answers your questions. You do the maths. Vinita says, why are you so good? Just inspired by other solar traps. Chrysler with the fuel trap. I just look at those guys and I want to be like those guys. I mean, never give up either. I want to be consistent. I want to fight the best people. So I mean, that's why I am the way I am, I guess. I don't think I'm very good, but I like to be consistent and fight the best people. Jose JJ01 says, an idea for videos would be that we, your subscribers, if we have a soda trap by line, we send you a video stomping on Titans, and you would upload it or things like that. Maybe. I know Duck Hunter Gaming has something similar, where he does the best trap competitions. That would be something cool in the future, maybe. I might do something similar to that. Stay tuned, maybe. WH Wong says, if my items are just blue and green, what is the number of troops I should train? I mean, with your troops, with your gear, being green and blue, you can still build my comp and trap Mythic Champ Titans easily, because I can do it with no gear, with no talents. So if you've got blue and green gear, you've probably got 200% mix, maybe a bit more. So with that, you can do what I do, easy. Alright, I'm going to do one more question. Actually, I'll do a few more. Rose Knight says, brother, I have a mind-sucking doubt. Can tier 1 troops withstand before tier 5? If I have 50 million tier 1, please try to answer. No, it can't. Because there's a troop cap in the game, which has been proven by Tashi and Aloha. That's where I got my information from. It's tier 2 and tier 1 is 8 million. Between 8 million and 8.4 million, I believe. So, any more than 8.4 million of the tier 2 or tier 1, it's not going to add any more damage for you. You can probably, it will absorb it a bit, because your frontline won't be getting destroyed because you have more to fall back on. But it's not going to kill. If you have 50 million tier 1, it's not going to help, mate, unfortunately. You'll still burn through Pack 5 familiars and all that stuff, because it's technically only 8 million tier 1. If you can have 1 billion tier 1, it will still just be as strong as 8 million tier 1, okay? OT PUBG says, 300% mixed stats is good with your comp? And which types of guys I can take it without any damage? As I said before, with a 300% mixed stat, you can definitely cap people with Mythic Champ easy. I capped Bivir with no gear on, and Bivir is not someone to take seriously. to take as a joke. You should take him seriously. That's what I'm trying to say. He's got Mythic Champ gear. He's got just under 900% stats without redueling. And a lot of army attack. And 11k heroes. This guy is very, very strong. I did it with no gear on. And just to show how much stats I have at a time, I'll do this. These are my stats, okay. So with this comp, this comp at a time wasn't even as good as the one I have now. This is a worse comp than right now. So with this comp, I took 140k tier 3 deads. That's the main focus. Ignore the tier 2. With that, I had 200% mix stats. Like just below 200% mix. And I still capped a Mythic Champ Titan who countered me, okay? So with 300% mix, you've got 100% more of each than me right now. So who can you cap? Mate, you can cap Mythic Champ Titans, bro. You can. If you have my comp, that is. I don't know what comp you have, but with tier 2, tier 1, maybe not. But with my comp, you can absolutely do it, mate. I'm going to leave it there with the questions. Hopefully, I might do some more. If you want me to answer more questions, stay tuned for the community posts. I will be asking you guys to ask me some more questions soon for the next sort of either account update I do or something like that. Maybe a similar video, or I just do it at the end of a random video. We will see. Maybe a live stream. I don't know. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully I answered all your questions. Hopefully this was somewhat informative and you guys understood or learned some stuff. If you got any more questions, feel free to leave below in the comment section as well. I'll try to reply to as many as I can in the comments. Until next time, guys, I love you all, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.